Two cards. Do you want to take those first? Or do you want to open up?
Sure. I could speak first on the public comment, if that's okay. And thank you. I want to thank the speakers who came on this, soon come up to speak. And colleagues, last week, or not recently, we celebrated Public Works Week. And today we are declaring by this resolution the American Society of Civil Engineers Day. The civil engineers are the people who build our bridges, repair and design all our buildings, make them safe from earthquakes, and much, much more. We have with us today Julia Moy, our Public Works Committee liaison, and she's here with a number of individuals from the American Society of Civil Engineers. I want to thank her and all the city's other engineers for the work they do to keep LA moving, keep it safe, and ensure that we have the public infrastructure we need. So colleagues, thank you for your support on this, and thank you to all our engineers who make and improve our quality of life. So with that, I'll ask that, let's give them a big round of applause. So with that, we could open up to public speakers.
Jeff Gerard, would you like to come forward as our first speaker?
Thank you. Honorable Council, Honorable City Council members, city officials, and distinguished guests. My name is Jeff Gerard. I'm the chair of the Government Affairs Committee for the Metropolitan Los Angeles Branch of the American Society of Civil Engineers. Behind me are several of my fellow civil engineers. We're here to thank the City Council and Mayor's Office for adopting a resolution proclaiming today, Wednesday, June 9th, 2010, American Society of Civil Engineers Day, and encouraging all Angelenos to recognize the contributions of ASCE professionals to maintaining and improving their quality of life. We especially would like to thank Councilmember Huszar for introducing this resolution, as well as Councilmember Labange for seconding the resolution. Civil engineering is everywhere, from the light switch you turn on in the morning to the roads you drive home on in the evening. Civil engineers design and build the systems that bring us water and power. They also build bridges, roads, wastewater treatment plants, and all public works that keep our community operating. Our lives and our infrastructure are inseparable. Civil engineers are developing and implementing some of the most exciting and innovative technologies to solve problems our country is currently facing. From our nation's aging infrastructure to the world's dwindling clean water supply. On behalf of the over 4,000 members of the Metropolitan Los Angeles Branch of ASCE, I and my fellow board members would like to thank the City Council and the Mayor for recognizing the contributions of civil engineers. It is important that our elected officials continue supporting infrastructure investment for the future of our city. We look forward to meeting with each of your offices later today to discuss some of these issues on infrastructure and water. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We have also John Walsh.
Wait a second.
Hold on. We're in public comment right now. We have other speakers before you. It's going to be Mr. Cardenas and you after Mr. Walsh comes forward and speaks. He's also here for public comment. Thank you, Mr. Labange. It's going to be okay, I promise.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org. This is one of my favorite subjects, incidentally, civil engineering. And if you want to know a job that has disappeared and been outsourced in America, it's engineering. Only 4,000 members. I remember when they built things here, it was designed and engineered on a tabletop in America. Now foreign companies form shell companies. You know what? Want to know where things are designed now? I can tell you where they're designed. They're designed to $6 an hour in China. They're designed to $5.50 in India. They're designed to $4.50 in Japan. They're designed, there are more people working on projects of American engineering projects in Saigon than they are in Los Angeles. And for these morons who start screaming about Jose and Maria coming, who clean our toilets and how we should kick them out, we should be thanking Jose and Maria and all those who come to this country to do our crap work, because our major work, our design work, is no longer being done in America. It is being done overseas. It is not being done. And I'm telling you, if you think that I'm wrong, let them stop me and let them tell you, all of these jobs, the vanishing American is the civil engineer. The jobs are being outsourced. And until we stop that, there isn't going to be anybody here. It makes no sense to even get a degree in engineering unless you want to move to Manila, to Saigon, to Shanghai, where all these jobs are now being done. And at the press of a computer button, their work product ends up in this city within 10 seconds of their leaving. HollywoodHighlands.org.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. Mr. Cardenas, then Mr. Labonte, and then Mr. Rizar.
I just want to thank all of the civil engineers, not only the ones who are here, but all of those men and women who have dedicated themselves to such a very, very important, substantial way in which societies take for granted when things are done well and things are done right. For example, you can have an earthquake. We pray that we don't have one here, but we have them now and again. You can have an earthquake, say, of a 6.8 magnitude, a 7.1, or what have you, and then, thank God, you only have maybe a small handful of people who perish, maybe a dozen or so. That has happened in the Southland here in California, where we have high standards. Then you can have an earthquake of similar magnitude somewhere else in the world, and hundreds of thousands of people will lose their lives, and also that entire community, in the tune of millions of people, will be affected because the infrastructure has been broken. So I just wanted to emphasize how much us as Americans, certainly as Californians, take for granted the effort and the commitment and also the professionalism that creates the society that we take for granted, where you can work or live in a building as tall as this one, but all of a sudden when you feel it rock, you feel pretty comfortable that it's not going to come down on you. Whereas in other countries, people perish by the hundreds of thousands because of the lack of number of professionals and the lack of society's commitment to that professional standard. So I just want to say thank you to all of the civil engineers for your professionalism and for your commitment to a discipline that's not easy. It's not easy to get an engineering degree, although some people get it, we don't know how, like myself, but it's not easy to do because it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of commitment, and it takes a certain way of thinking and knowing how to tackle problems in order to become a good engineer. So congratulations to all of you and to all of your colleagues.
Mr. Labonte.
To follow up on Mr. Cardenas, I want to thank all the engineers. But members, as you may or may not know, in the 1920s there was a City Beautiful movement. And at the City Beautiful movement in Los Angeles, it was focused on improving Los Angeles and their bridges. And those bridges that cross the Los Angeles River from the east side to the west side of the river were designed with great care and affection. The deputy city engineer at the time, Merrill Butler, designed all those bridges. There's 15 famous bridges in Los Angeles. Many, many years later, there were struggles, and I know Mike Hernandez was a champion for this because of their poor job done on the Main Street Bridge. That bridges were then turned around. Mr. Ferraro, they turned them around like the Buena Vista Bridge. The engineer that handled it wasn't the chief engineer of the Bureau of Engineering. It was a deputy engineer, and the deputy is here today, a great retired Los Angeles City employee. Stand up, Clark Robbins. Give him a big hand. We need your help on the Spring Street Bridge, Clark. 6th Street Bridge, too. And all other bridges. You're a great guy, Clark. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Rizar.
Well, thank you very much, colleagues, and again, thank you to our civil engineers. You know, we take a lot of our roads and bridges for granted and all the public infrastructure, but there are people behind these projects that made it possible, designing them and constructing them, so thank you very much. And I do want to remind us all that this country is actually facing a shortage in the future of people who are going into the math and science fields, and so as a shortage, we recognize the shortage. I do want to encourage our young people to look at those areas of study. This country will be facing a shortage in the future. We need more engineers so that we could continue to build a strong country and a strong city. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rizar. With that, let's go ahead and open the roll and close the roll and tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
On that vote, we thank you, engineers. Thank you very much, and thank you for your patience and being here as well. We do have some other items on the desk, but I think if we can, Mr. Cardenas, you want to take up 34 out of order? Is that? You wanted to be sure to be here for that? Is that correct? 234, okay. We're going to need to go in closed session for item 34. We will be coming back into open session.